This might seriously be the best Asad release yet, period. What's good, guys? Hunter here and welcome back to Fragrance Hunter. Hope you're all doing good. Today we are reviewing the newest fragrance from the house of Lattafa, and it is of course Asad Elixir. I don't know about you guys, but I've been so hyped about this fragrance ever since it got announced. I'm a huge fan of the entire Asad line. Of course, the OG was fantastic. Pretty much like an icon for the house of Lattafa. It was inspired by Sauvage Elixir, of course. Then they came out with Zanzibar, which I enjoyed. A lot of people didn't. Then Bourbon, which honestly I wasn't the biggest fan of. Probably my least favorite Asad. However, today we got the Elixir and I'm so excited to be reviewing it. Because personally, I think this is my new favorite Asad in the entire lineup. I mean, Lattafa really knocked it out of the park with this beast right here. I've seen online that this fragrance is inspired by Boss Bottled Absolute, which is my favorite fragrance from Boss. I do own that one alongside, of course, the Elixir. This fragrance right here is kind of a twist between a Boss Bottled Absolute and Sauvage Elixir, or the original Asad. Because believe me, you're still getting Sauvage Elixir vibes in this one, and no doubt about it. Which I think some people are kind of downplaying, guys, which is not the case. I do also want to shout out perfumeonline.ca for sending Asad Elixir over for review. I'm still going to keep it honest with you guys, of course. However, if you want to shop there, use code HUNTER5 to save 5% off at checkout, and they pretty much have like all the new Middle Eastern brands at that website. And they also have very fast shipping to the US since they are a Canadian-based website, guys. Do not worry about that. So let's run down some information. Now, this fragrance was obviously launched in 2025. It's brand spanking new from Lattafa at this time of the recording. For the retail price, only size this comes in as of now is the 100 ml. Is going to run you around probably 40 to 50 bucks, give or take, wherever you find it at. It is a little bit more pricey just because it's brand new. This is not going to be on discounters. It's not going to hit up rack stores anytime soon. And even at 40 bucks, guys, you're getting one heck of a fragrance with this. The concentration is actually an eau de parfum, which is one of my gripes about this fragrance, guys. It's called an elixir, but they actually made it an EDP. I'm not a fan of when houses do that, guys. If they're making a fragrance an elixir, it better be an extrait, and that's just the way it is. However, this is still an EDP, but you're probably getting around 20% oils, which is still pretty high, but it's not an extrait. However, just because it is an EDP doesn't mean that it's not a beast, and we'll talk about that later on in the review. And for the perfumer, unfortunately, that is unknown with Asad Elixir. I tried to do some research, have no idea the nose behind this, so most Middle Eastern brands don't really list that, even though nowadays you're getting some of the best perfumers in the game. So it would be nice to know who made this, but unfortunately we don't. But with all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with this fragrance now. So take a look at this box. If you've seen one Asad box, you pretty much have seen them all. Of course, Eau de Parfum Elixir had that logo, Arabic Asad Lattafa, 100 ml bottle. On the bottom of the box, you got your barcode and batch code to authenticate a product to see when it was produced. September 2025 is mine. Nothing really on the back, hologram, and then nothing really on this side. And all in all, the top up top, but it is a generic box, but that's not the biggest deal. Let's look at the bottle now. Now, take a look at this bottle, which I think is by far my favorite Asad bottle. I love the matte, kind of full blacked out bottle style. Got this gunmetal going across that as well instead of gold like the original. Asad Elixir Lattafa, the Arabic right there. On the bottom, got your sticker, probably some information, and nothing on the back. Lattafa up top in that gunmetal, full blacked out finish. And the cap on this is on there very snug, as you just seen. Nothing inside the cap, nothing on the atomizer. On the cap is that kind of generic plastic, kind of lightweighted cap, but hey, clicks into place very securely, as you guys can see right there. In the top, you're gonna find grapefruit, pink pepper, and saffron. In the mid, you got tobacco, cedarwood, and vanilla. In the base, you got amber, patchouli, fragrance, and cashmere, and this will be classified as a sweet spicy. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Honestly, not the best atomizer, as you guys saw. It's not pressurized, but hey, not the biggest deal. Now, let's go ahead and remind myself of the brand new Asad Elixir and see if this is the best Asad to date, and I'll let you guys do the first sniff. So how you guys feel about the opening, guys? I think this opening is fantastic because right away you're gonna get greeted with this very citrusy, kind of a sweet grapefruit opening immediately, guys. Now, the opening with this one is very similar to Sauvage Elixir's opening with the grapefruit, and I actually think this is closer to Sauvage Elixir than the original Asad was, at least in the opening, guys. And you can also tell this one opens up much more dense than the original Asad as well, guys. It's very potent in the opening. Now, along with that citrusy sweet grapefruit, you also have a spicy pink pepper and the spicy, dried, leathery saffron right away as well, guys. So it opens up citrusy and spicy immediately. Now, I know how people are talking about how this gets compared to Boss Bottled Absolute, how However though, this opens up brighter than Boss Bottle Absolute. There's no citruses found in that fragrance at all. It opens up immediately smoky and resinous. This one does not do that, but it does start to dry down kind of similar to Absolute in the dry down. I mean, this fragrance opens up bright enough and citrusy enough where I can actually wear it to the gym, because yesterday I wore this to the gym and I was expecting it to smell like Boss Bottle Absolute, which I would never wear to the gym. I wouldn't even think about that at all. That just tells you right there, this is brighter and more citrusy than Boss Bottle Absolute. So do not compare. This is not a one-to-one to that fragrance at all. It's a twist, a kind of a hybrid between that and Sauvage Elixir. I'm not even hating, guys. I love Sauvage Elixir and by far my favorite Sauvage flanker. So it pretty much takes my favorite Dior and my favorite Hugo Boss and puts them together into this. Because as we start transitioning into the mid of Asad Elixir, it starts to become kind of smoky, earthy from that tobacco note, which brings out this dark side to the fragrance, guys. So it starts to turn darker, smokier, and resinous as it starts to dry down. But alongside the dark kind of smoky tobacco, you also have that sweet, spicy vanilla and a little bit of this kind of cedar wood thrown into the mix as well. So yeah, it's turning darker to kind of fit the style of this bottle design, guys. Very dark, smoky, and downright sexy DNA with Elixir, guys. Because once you finally get into the far base of this one after a few hours, you're gonna get that warm, resinous amber note going on in the dry down, mixed together with this resinous, smoky fragrance scent, which is also used as incense. So very smoky, warm, and resinous in the deep base of it, with this earthy patchouli thrown into it as well, guys. And I love patchouli. I believe in Boss Bottle Absolute. You also have smoky incense, I think amber, patchouli, maybe some tobacco in there as well, guys. And I think that also has like myrrh, so it's very, very resinous, like through and through. Even in the dry down of this one, it doesn't turn as dark and gooey and resinous as Boss Bottled Absolute. It has a little bit more of a bright side to it, but still, it goes into that direction as it starts to dry down, no doubt about it. However, this is, I think, more crowd pleasing than Boss Bottled Absolute as well. So if you're like me, you love Sauvage Elixir, you love Boss Bottled Absolute, you have to get Asad Elixir, guys. This is incredible and by far the best Asad to date easily. And when it comes down to it, guys, this is kind of a good, like, darker Elixir flanker to the original Asad, because it still has that DNA, like I said, turns smokier, darker, and more resinous in this one, and much more potent. And personally, I don't see any reason why I would ever choose the original Asad over the Elixir if I was gonna wear one of them for the day. I'm definitely going with this. So for seasons to rock Asad Elixir, guys, it's still got that versatile DNA all 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Primarily because of the spring and summer, because of that grapefruit kind of citrusy, brighter opening, but definitely the fall and winter because it dries down beautifully and dark, which fits perfect for the colder weather. But you can really wear it all 4 seasons, somewhat kind of like a citrus scent if you really love the DNA and you want to. It might be a little bit harder to pull it off in the hot weather, but if you really want to, you can do it. So it's going to be more versatile and citrus scent worthy than something like Boss Bottle Absolute, and still carry that versatility you get from the original Asad and Sauvage Elixir. So possibly, maybe if you wanted a fresher Boss Bottle Absolute, this would be a good alternative. And when it comes to occasion with Asad Elixir, versatile, like I said, casual and formal. It really does not matter what you're doing for the day. You'll be able to rock this, guys. You could be wearing jeans, shorts, a hoodie, a t-shirt, or you could dress it up wearing like a dress shirt, a suit, or a tuxedo if you're going somewhere fancy. This smell is both fancy and casual at the same exact time. It would also work perfectly like during an evening situation. If you're going on a date somewhere fancy, or even going to a club, this one is gonna shine beautifully for that kind of occasion. It's the kind of fragrance that works if you're going to work in the morning and then going clubbing after work. You can still rock this all day long. And for gender with the Asad Elixir, very, very masculine scent profile, guys. Like I said, it's spicy, it's strong, it's resonant, it's smoky, and for the kind of guy out there that just oozes confidence pretty much. And for the kind of dude that really does not care what anybody thinks about their fragrance at all. Because this is the type of fragrance that's in your face and it doesn't even apologize. And for age groups, I think this one is a little bit more on the mature side of things rather than youthful compared to some of the other Asadi flankers like the original, Zanzibar, and possibly even bourbon. This is the most mature Asad out there now. However, it doesn't mean if you are a little bit younger, you want something like this, to go for it. Just know it does have a slight mature edge to it at the end of the day. It doesn't really give off this fun, playful, juvenile vibe, if you know what I mean. Like that's suited for like a teenager early 20s, something like that. I picture somebody rocking this one the best, like 25, 30 and up. But of course, fragrances do not have an age group. It just does lean a little bit more mature rather than some of the other Asad flankers, so remember that. Doesn't mean anything, because if I was like 18, I would absolutely rock a fragrance like this, guys, no doubt about it. Kind of letting the more mature audience know that if you're looking to get an Asad, this might be the best one. Now, rather than review all talking on the performance you're gonna get from Asad Elixir. So with an Elixir name, guys, you expect beast mode, strong performance, right? That's exactly what Elixir is supposed to be. Kind of disappointed they made this in EDP. However, though, from my testing, guys, it really doesn't even matter, because I got around 12 hours of solid longevity on skin. Even if you apply your clothes, it's gonna last a few days easily, guys. This is not a weak fragrance. It lives up to the Elixir name despite not being an extrait, which Lattafa kind of had to make this one strong, because the original Asad was already a base fragrance in and of itself. So being an Elixir, this has to be just as strong, if not stronger, than the OG Asad, which I think this one is stronger, guys. I don't remember what kind of performance I got from the original Asad when I reviewed that maybe a few years ago, but I think it was definitely less than 12 hours that I recall, guys. So yeah, this is a beast. This fragrance will get you through a whole 8-hour work shift, plus taking a lady out after work to a date, guys. This fragrance is still gonna be pushing. It might not make it after the date when you bring her back to your place, but who's gonna care? Because you'll be back at your place, you can reapply it then. Guys ever go on dates and like secretly reapply your fragrance like midway through the date or towards the end of the date? I know I have before, guys. So around 12 hours of solid longevity, plus when it comes to the projection, guys, it's a loud beast mode, room filling, projecting fragrance with Asad Elixir. Everybody within your proximity is going to smell you, so be cautious of that. You don't really need to overspray this one, even though you can if you really don't care like I do. But you might offend some people around you and be kind of offensive, and might make some enemies, if you know what I mean. But hey, you can't be friends with everybody, right? So yeah, you're getting similar loud projection like you found from the original Asad, guys. That stuff was a beast, one of the strongest fragrances from Lattafa, and that has gotten me so many comments throughout the years every time I wear it. This one's not gonna be any different, guys. Loud, compliment getting, beast mode of a fragrance, no doubt about it, and lives up to the Elixir name. And like I said, might not just be my favorite Asad now, it might actually be my favorite Lattafa in general. That's truthfully how good this release is, guys. But that's gonna do it for my review of the brand new Lattafa Asad Elixir. Let me know down below if you guys have tried this one yet, if you're thinking about getting your hands on it. What are your thoughts, and what is your favorite Asad as well, guys? I'm curious what you guys are rocking with when it comes to this line. But besides that, leave a like on the video, subscribe below if you haven't already, and of course, catch all of you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.